Title: Legendary Paths to Triumph, Hercules, Karma, and Your Journey. Introduction. Every great story of triumph begins with a moment of doubt, a point where the world whispers you cannot. On day one of your quest, whether it's to launch a startup, climb a corporate ladder, or simply live a life of purpose, you face that same whisper. Today we dive into the ancient Greek tale of Hercules, the unseen force of karma, and the modern philosophy of Stoicism to uncover the secret formula that turns obstacles into stepping stones. Chapter 1: The Call to the Impossible. Hercules, son of Zeus, was tasked by the king of Sparta with a series of 12 labors, an unthinkable set of chores that seemed designed to break a man. The first was to capture the golden apples of the Hesperides, guarded by a watchful dragon. The legend says that Hercules wrestled the apple-trespassing dragon until it lay slain, and the apples fell into his hands. In ancient Greece, this story symbolized the power of tenacity and faith in one's own strength. By confronting the dragon head-on, Hercules created a space for triumph. The invisible lesson that lies in the story is the role of karma, the idea from Indian philosophy that every action produces a ripple that eventually returns to the doer. Hercules did not simply wrestle a beast. He sowed a seed of courage that would grow into the knowledge that he could face whatever lay ahead. Practical takeaway: when confronted with a daunting task, visualize yourself succeeding. The energy you spend visualizing success is the same energy you use to take action. How to apply today. 1. Identify a single challenge that you feel is as large as a dragon. 2. Sit quietly for 5 minutes and picture yourself overcoming it. 3. Write one actionable step that is the first bite at that challenge. Because your mind starts to feel the victory, your body is more ready to fight. Conclusion: Hercules' first labor teaches us that the battle is inside before it is outside. Call to action. If you are ready to wrestle your own dragons, like, share, and subscribe for more myth-powered motivation. Reflective question: how can a single visualized victory change the way you approach a real obstacle today? Chapter 2: The Power of the Mind, Embracing the Struggle. Hercules' second labor was the capture of the Nemean lion. No sword could wound it, and its mane was a living wall of protection. Yet he used his strength and ingenuity, eventually strangling the beast. The story of the Nemean lion becomes a modern metaphor for resilience. In the Indian tradition, karma teaches that effort is not wasted. Every struggle, even the strangling of a lion, creates a lesson that informs future actions. It is the suffering that refines, strengthens, and prepares one for the next beast. Motivational insight: the brain is wired to learn from discomfort. When you intentionally step into hardship, you are not only building muscle, you build mental resilience. How to apply today. Pick a skill you find difficult, such as public speaking. Commit to practicing it daily, even if you feel ashamed or nervous. Track progress over 30 days and notice how the discomfort becomes less daunting. Conclusion: every struggle is a seed of future strength. It is the invisible loom weaving your character. Call to action: like, share, and subscribe for more ancient wisdom turned modern strategy. Reflective question: what small discomfort could you accept today that will grow into a strength tomorrow? Chapter 3: The Cycle of Reward, Balancing Karma and Effort. The third labor had Hercules capture the Cyrenian hind, a swift deer that was sacred to Artemis. Hercules pursued it for a year, learning patience and discipline. Only when he captured it by peaceful restraint could he bring it home. In Karma Yoga, the principle of working selflessly and without attachment to outcome is highlighted. Hercules did not care about fame, he cared about the labor's completion. Through this, he created a balance between performing and receiving. Lesson for today: focus on the process. The reward will follow when you let go of the outcome and invest fully in the action. How to apply today. Create a daily ritual that improves a key output, e.g., a 10-minute mindfulness practice for clarity. Commit to it for 21 days. At the end, observe the change not because you want to achieve a goal, but because you value the habit itself. Conclusion: by centering on process, you free yourself from the anxiety of results and align your actions with your values, a key principle of Stoic resilience. Call to action. Like, share, and subscribe for more wisdom about focus and flow. Reflective question. How can concentrating on your actions, rather than on their outcomes, shift your perception of success? Chapter 4, The Mirror of Self, Reflecting Inward. In the fourth labor, Hercules faced a woman who could not be harmed by any mortal weapon, Deianira. He tricked her with a poisoned love charm, but she fell ill before he could retrieve the antidote. In this tragic episode, Hercules learns that failure is not a death sentence, but a warning of the arrogance that blinds him. This story echoes karmic feedback. The consequences of careless actions reverberate back, forcing the doer into introspection and adjustment. In Stoic terms, the lesson is to assume responsibility for all outcomes. Practical insight. When failure surfaces, the most powerful response is not blame, but a deep inventory of choices made. How to apply today. 1. When a project fails, journal the decisions and emotions that led there. 2. Identify one point where you could have chosen a different course. 3. Commit to that alternative for the next project. Acknowledging error strengthens integrity and self-trust, essential for future success. Conclusion. Your greatest obstacle is often the mirror that shows you the next path. Take the reflection seriously. Call to action. Like, share, and subscribe for more strategies on owning your journey. Reflective question. Which recent failure could serve as a turning point if you examine the decisions that led to it? Chapter 5, The Summit, Triumph Through Conscious Leadership. The final labors bring Hercules to the very heart of the earth, overcoming the Hydra, bringing Cerberus to Olympus, and capturing the invisible prize of the golden apples. Each victory became a symbolic layer of mastery. In this stage, karmic energy culminates. Every act of strength, each mindful pause, and every self-reflection has pooled into a reservoir of resilience and purpose. Stoic philosophy reminds us that the great aim of life isn't to accumulate accolades, but to grow an aligned, unshakable character. Takeaway for modern life. Your greatest obstacle is not the mountain in front of you, but the mountain within you. Face it with discipline, patience, and self-knowledge, and you will summit. How to apply today. Identify your deepest fear of failure. Set a concrete, short-term goal that confronts that fear. Record your progress weekly and celebrate the small victories. The sense of accomplishment will magnify your confidence for tomorrow's climb. Conclusion. Hercules' triumph was not a single event, but a series of conscious decisions that compounded over time. By weaving ancient lessons into modern practice, you create a life that withstands any obstacle. Call to action. If you feel an urge to climb your own mountain, hit that like button, share this story to inspire a friend, and subscribe to our channel for continued myth-powered growth. Reflective question. What mountain does your heart feel most urgency to climb today, and how can you apply this lesson to start the climb? Philosophy Spotlight Stoicism. Discipline, resilience, clarity of mind. Stoicism, born in ancient Greece, teaches that we must master our own minds rather than the world around us. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic sage, wrote in his Meditations that the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the path. Key points of Stoicism for modern success. 1. Internal focus. External events are beyond our control. We should manage our reactions. Lesson: reframe challenges as opportunities to practice virtues, courage, temperance, wisdom, rather than as threats. 2. Practicing resilience. The Stoic practice of premeditatio malorum, pre-contemplation of adversity, allows one to anticipate difficulty and prepare mentally. Lesson: before starting a project, mentally rehearse setbacks and think of responses. 3. Clarity of mind. The Stoic belief that clarity comes from discipline and reflection. Lesson: daily journaling, mindfulness, and deliberate decision-making remove noise, leaving only essential truth. Integration with our theme. The hero's journey of Hercules, the cycle of karma, and the call to overcome obstacles are all embodiments of Stoic principles. By wrestling the dragon, Hercules practiced, the impediment to action advances action. By catching the Hydra, he premeditated the adversities. By reflecting on his failures, he exercised discipline, the essential ingredient of clarity. Staying stoically disciplined fuels modern entrepreneurs, leaders, and individuals to rise above the noise. It turns obstacles into laboratories for virtue. Final call to action. If you now feel the inside of your chest humming with potential, like, share, and subscribe. Engage in one disciplined practice this week, whether it's a daily journaling habit, a new exercise routine, or a courageous conversation. Tag us in your journey and let us see your progress. Remember, whether you are wrestling a golden apple, a corporate deadline, or an inner doubt, your greatest ally is the mind you command. Harness the ancient codes of Hercules, karma, and Stoicism, and step forward into a future crafted by your own resilience.